My name is Dalo Saku. I'm the president of the Black Commission, which is a 501c4, and I'm the chairman of the Comedic Empire. What we have here is something that we put out about 13 years ago inside the neighborhoods on the north side called Know Your Rights. And this is just an updated and a more comprehensive version now that we have social media. So we have this, and I have my sons involved, so we can have some young people understanding that there are young people that do care. There's some young people that are engaged in it, and you may not see them. So here's my opportunity to share the platform with my sons. Know Your Rights, Jacksonville, Florida, prepared by the Black Commission and the Comedic Empire.
You do not need to carry or show ID just for walking unless police have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. You don't have to provide your social security number or consent to searches just because you're walking. Always stay calm and respectful to avoid escalation.
Passenger and vehicle. Usually you do not need to show ID.
Police suspect you personally of law violation, like no seatbelt. Florida State Statute 316.614.
You can call me as, am I legally required to show my ID before it's fine?
Drivers must present a valid driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance upon request. Florida State Statute 322.15.
Everyone in the vehicle must wear seatbelts.
Visitors. Rights are the same for all, whether resident or visitor.
Police interactions. Rights, key terms, and communication.
What is Terry stop?
A brief, temporary stop based on a reasonable suspicion you may be involved in a crime. Terry versus Ohio, 1968. Police may pat you down, out of clothing, for weapons, but cannot search inside your pockets or belongings without consent or probable cause. You are not under arrest, but must remain until the officer says you're free. What does comply mean? Follow lawful orders like showing your hands or stepping out of a vehicle. You do not have to consent to a search or answer questions. Use the phrase like, I do not consent to a search. I wish to remain silent. Resisting police without violence. Florida State Statute 843.02. Refusing or pulling away without using force physically, such as tensing up or not following commands. With violence. Florida State Statute 843.01. Physically fighting or threatening officers. This is a felony. Asking for a supervisor. You have the right to ask for a higher ranking officer, supervisor at any time. Say, I would like a supervisor on the scene. GSO will make reasonable efforts to send one. Important legal terms. Detained. Temporarily not free to leave but not arrested. Arrested. Taken into custody requires probable cause. Reasonable suspension. Specific facts allowing temporary stop. Probable cause. Evidence needed to arrest or search. Miranda rights. You must be told your rights if in custody and questioned. Let's go to true or false. We're going to do something called true or false. Know your rights. Here's the statement. Police can always require ID when walking. False. Only with reasonable suspicion. Florida State Statute 901.151. Passengers must always show ID if asked. False. Only if suspected of a crime or violation. Drivers must show license and registration. True. Required by law. Florida State Statute 322.115. You cannot ask for a supervisor. False. You can always ask at any police contact. Being detained means you are under arrest. False. Detention is temporary stop, not arrest. You must answer all police questions. False. You can remain silent except when legally required to identify. How to stay safe when stopped by police. Stay calm. Keep hands visible. Speak respectfully and neutrally. Avoid arguing or being rude, as this can be seen as a combative and lead to JSO calling for backup. Say clearly, I wish to remain silent. I do not consent to any search. Announce your actions. I'm reaching for my wallet. You can record police openly as long as you do not interfere. Florida State Statute 943.50. Ask, am I free to go? If no, say, I want to speak to a supervisor. Take note of officer's name, badge, and patrol car numbers. If mistreated, file a complaint with JSO Internal Affairs 904-630-2187 or get legal help. Emergency and special situations. If threatened or facing excessive force, immediately ask for a supervisor and safely record if possible. Request a crisis intervention team, CIT, for mental health emergencies. Youth under 18 are entitled to a guardian presence during questioning. Non-citizens have rights to carry counselor ID if possible. Community support and economic empowerment. You can contact Career Sources Northeast Florida, Job Training and Apprenticeship. Career Source Center NortheastFL.com. Career Source Center NortheastFL.com. Florida Small Business Development Center, SB as in boy, D as in dollar, C as in call, at UNF. Free business advice, sbdc.unf.edu. The Jacksonville Public Library, they have digital skills workshops. Jacksonville Urban League workforce and entrepreneurship programs. Jacksonville Chamber of Commerce business support, jackschambers.com. And so what I want to do now is just kind of go over some important laws and codes so you can know. And it's similar, it's basically some of the things that we went over already, but we're just going to refresh them right here. And you'll have them, you'll see them in certain areas where they say we're over policed or there's a large police presence or arrest. You get you a trifold. There's a trifold. We may have them in the corner stores. They may be just out. We may have them on the poles. But if you see them, we also have it on the QR code, so you can just use your phone and then have it download on your phone. We'll also have it where you can just download it from this particular broadcast and also find it on the Circuit podcast featuring Gene.com and Dalo Saku myself. Important laws and codes to know. Florida State Statute 901-151. Stop and identify law. Florida State Statute 843.02, 843.01, resisting without and with violence. Florida State Statute 316.614, seatbelts required. Florida State Statute 322.15, license and registrations presentation. Florida State Statute 934.50, right to record police. Florida State Statute 316.072, obey lawful orders. Jacksonville Code Chapter 804, traffic, sidewalks, parking. Terry versus Ohio 392 US 1 1968, basis of Terry stops. Here are your emergency and resource contacts. Jacksonville, Florida. Emergency Police Fire Medical 911. JSO non-emergency 904-630-0500. JSO Internal Affairs for complaints 904-630-2187. State Attorney's Office 904-255-2500. The FBI Jacksonville Field Office 904-248-7000. Florida Department of Law Enforcement, 904-630-7100. City Hall, City Council Clerk, 904-255-5122.